Alright, this is a review for Schumacher's SE-1 battery charger. Alright, so this is a 12 volt, 1 amp manual battery charger. And this thing is pretty much obsolete by today's standards, but there is still one use for it, so someone might need this, so that's why I'm reviewing it. A lot of people don't realize the plugs on the back of this thing. When they go to buy it, they get confused because they don't see a power cord coming out of it, so that's how that works. These clamps are basically terrible. As a matter of fact, I couldn't even get this on the battery without buying battery clamps. So anyways, so this is a 1 amp charger. It's 12 volt only, and it's manual, which means that it's not going to shut off, it's just going to keep charging. So you got to keep that in mind. And basically this is kind of like, this was the old school way of maintaining a battery. You would buy one of these and then you'd have to buy a timer to plug this into, so it would only charge for X amount of hours and then turn it off and kind of keep cycling it that way, which is really not the best way to go about things. But the one thing that is good about this is, if for some reason you're in a situation where you have a smart battery charger that doesn't want to fire up because the voltage on your battery is too low, and for whatever reason you can't get jumpers to another battery or find another way of getting the voltage back up, this would be pretty good for that application. But I mean, at 1 amp, even that, it's going to take a while for this thing to bump the voltage up. But the good thing about it is it's pretty compact. So I mean, if that's fitting your application, where you've got a smart charger and you want to have the ability to back it up with a manual charger, I mean, this thing basically fits in your pocket. Not that you'd want it there, it's kind of heavy, but anyways. And the other thing getting into is, like, this is what would actually be considered a trickle charger, and I'll probably do another video getting more into that. So basically what I'm going to do is hook up the meter to this battery and show you how this thing works. Alright, so got the meter on there, we're at 1240. Got the charger hooked up, so plug it in. Alright, so jumped up to 12.5, and you can see it's just going to very slowly tick its way up to start hitting that charging voltage. So just as a comparison, I'm going to knock this down. I'm going to throw it on a 6 amper I've got. Alright, so I've got this Black & Decker charger. It's the BC6 BDW. I'm actually going to do a review on this one too, so if you're interested in that, that'll be coming soon. This one is 6 amps, so I'm going to plug this in. Now, notice the difference. I mean, we're already at 13 and climbing quickly. So that's kind of the difference getting into, like, how important amperage is and how quickly it's going to charge a battery. So, like, getting into what you would actually use this thing for, like I said, I mean, probably only going to use it in a pinch where you need a manual charger. So, like, I mean, luckily enough the voltage wasn't too low to fire this smart charger. So, but like, let's say this battery was down to 8 volts or something, and this charger didn't want to fire. It's pretty much the only time you're going to have a use for something like this. So like I said, it's kind of obsolete by today's standards to a certain degree, but I mean, it really boils down to what you're doing in your application. You might actually find this useful. So like I said, it's definitely not for everyone, but if you have a use for it, it's pretty cheap too. I think it's like, I don't know, 10 or 15 bucks. But I mean, you're not getting much. Probably the only benefit to this thing is it's probably got, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet of lead on it, which is kind of nice. But as far as like charging a battery, and then if you were gonna actually charge a battery, being 1 amp, it's just gonna take forever depending on how discharged the battery is. And beyond that, it's manual, so you're gonna have to pretty much babysit it. So it's probably more trouble than it's worth. Like I said, probably the only application is gonna be using this thing as a jump starter. So alright, if you got any questions or comments or whatever, leave them below, we'll talk about it.